different people define what's good for Ukraine in a different way. There are political parties, of course, who decide what's good. We think of it as economically strong, in as much as possible economically independent, meaning that we do not have another crisis worldwide and that kills the economy in the east of Ukraine because the iron and the steel does not get shipped to United States or other places. We consider that Ukraine should be addressing its demographic, environmental, social problems in a, I would say, Christian way, because that's traditional for Ukraine, regardless of denomination. Ukraine, in our opinion, should cherish its history, know its history, cherish its culture, and also respect the cultures of other people that live in it, including Crimean Tatars, because that's the only place they really can call home. There are a few of them here. They're also part of the fourth wave. They also had previous waves. I think it's good for Ukraine to involve them in Ukrainian activities too. Finally, it's good for Ukraine to have beneficial relations with world powers, both on the level of government and on the individual level. If an average American understands where Ukraine is, what kind of culture we have, that it's great and fun and everything, they would probably think twice when Russian propaganda tells them Ukraine is this awful country and they stole the history and all the bad stuff that gets told about us. If we want positive image of Ukraine, we do need to get involved in popular diplomacy. Specific items that we deal with, it's when it comes to citizens of Ukraine who come here, quite often there's the issue of not knowing that you should really obey the law. They get in trouble here, they get in trouble in Ukraine. I think it's really a great thing that diaspora could teach them that if you want to have a democratic country, you need to understand what rule of law is. And when they come here for work and travel program, for Fulbright, Muskie, any kind of other programs, that's something that should be told to them. Otherwise, the image of Ukraine is going to be judged by somebody like some work and travels in New York City and New Jersey, who last year almost killed work and travel program for Ukraine for the next years because they got involved with Russian hackers who transferred thousands of dollars into their accounts, then they withdrew them, and now Interpol and FBI and everybody else is looking for them. And now there are some in Ukraine, some in Russia apparently, but they can't stay long anywhere else. That sometimes is the image we get because the news usually picks up the bad stuff about Ukraine. The positive news does not really get reported. If it bleeds, it leads. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. One more thing when it comes to Ukrainians and Ukrainian organizations helping Ukraine, there is, if I would rephrase that, there is that fatigue of diaspora within Ukraine because diaspora saw that it's time to do something in Ukraine, came, started teaching, not everybody of course, but they said this is what we think Ukraine should be like, and we're going to tell the government this is what Ukraine should be like. The government of Ukraine said, you're not our citizens, you don't have any say in what we do inside the country, off the record of course. I think what should be done really is there may be a coordinating body, but there should be a broader dialogue between Ukrainians, who live in Ukraine, between Ukrainian communities all over the world. When we talk to our activists in Czech Republic and the United Kingdom, they discuss the same issues. It's not really a U.S. only or Canada only problem that, diaspora numbers are dwindling, the new wave maybe will help us. It's everywhere. If we want to preserve Ukrainian culture outside of Ukraine, there should be a dialogue. And there should be recognition that Ukrainian culture is both old, with various regional variations, and that there's also new modern culture. The fourth wave turned out to boombox concert, to Okean Elzy concert in droves. When it comes to Zabava tonight, there will be some, but for a lot of the fourth wave, that's not what they would want to get involved in. They'd rather go to Troika, the Russian party, and dance there. If we can get Ukrainians to promote contemporary Ukrainian music, if we can get Ukrainians, the young diasporans too, could come there and tell the DJ, play this, or why doesn't your bar carry Obolon? It's a great Ukrainian beer. That's going to help economy. That's going to preserve the community because people can rally around this thing. And lo and behold, there is a Ukrainian club. There is a Ukrainian restaurant. If there is demand for it, then somebody will start a business with the purpose of making money on it. Then the community will grow. It's going to be a multiplier effect. When it comes to, again, coordinating, there used to be meetings with the ambassador of Ukraine that sometimes they're being held still. I think maybe that is the venue for coordinating all the efforts, because then you would have the representatives of Ukrainian diaspora, all sorts of various organizations. You would have the viewpoint of Ukrainian government, and you would have the Ukrainian citizens, and I'm not just talking about my association. There's a fourth wave is called, they're based in Canada and in New York, in Stamford, Connecticut. I think everybody should get involved.